I just got done with a walk with the dog. So I thought I'd hop on here. Um, Sorry, you can see I'm changing things around a little bit in the house because, we're changing seasons. So I can't really have my workspace out in the sunroom anymore because it is even though today it would have been fine because it's like 80 degrees outside, but it's like it's not insulated out there. So I either have to constantly run like a heater or an air conditioning during the peak times. So if you're wondering about that, that's what's going on with that. And if you're not, and you're like, why is she? This is just how I get ready. Get settled in to the message. I wasn't sure when I was going to do this message today. Apparently, it's now. So, thank you for joining. Again, you guys, many of you know I've been using my Spirit Halloween tarot deck through Halloween to get some of these messages out. Not exactly sure what we're going to be doing today. I'm just trying to cool off myself a little bit from this walk. Like, I could have had shorts on. I started out with a sweatshirt. Thank God I had this on underneath because they don't really like you walking around without your top on you. I mean, if you're a woman anyway. If you're a man, it doesn't matter. Right? I mean, I used to work with some guys that had bigger, whatchamacallits than me. But it's just the society we live in, right? Some of you could be like, feel a little uncomfortable with society at times and society's rules, right? I'm going to go ahead. I'm kind of feeling this Lover's Oracle today a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started just because it is kind of unseasonably warm today. Okay. So, yeah, hopefully there's nothing in the background that you see that's like confidential. And I have some medical bill information back here. Like, how was your experience seeing such and such doctor that you didn't want to see in the first place? Yeah, like I want to call them and talk to them about that. No, I don't. Hopefully I can just talk about that with my primary care physician the next time I see her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to have to discuss things with insurance companies. Who has time for that anymore? Lord have mercy. I surely do not. Kind of like how I called this place to get my winterization scheduled. And they had me on hold, and then they sent me through to the service guy, and then he wasn't picking up, so then he had to call me back. And I'm like, well, look, just tell them I'll take the first available appointment. He calls me back. He's like, your best bet's just to go online and la 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 la. And if you can't figure that out, call us back. Well, why did you think I was calling y'all to begin with? And so I go online every single time, and it's like, seriously, it's just this one location. Their location is not working. I go to the other locations, and their website pops up immediately. Theirs just like spins. So yeah, I don't really want to deal with them again. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is supposed to be a business that's going to get money from me eventually. It's like, you're making it very difficult for me to do that. You know what I mean? It just, business 101. What they used to say, the customer's always right. No, but you at least try and accommodate your customer to a certain extent, right? You would think scheduling an appointment might be in their wheelhouse. But alas, I am blocked. Yes, I was essentially blocked on that website, and it was very irritating. There could be somebody that you have blocked currently, either on some kind of website, some kind of social networking site. I don't know if this person has your telephone number or not. You could have even like moved and like not told them where you went, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Kind of like 2 years ago, plus I had to tell the mail that like, look, so-and-so doesn't live here. In fact, I have an order of protection against him, so please do not deliver his mail here ever again. And like, they wrote it down. The post office wrote that down for me. You know what I mean? Like, Is that who's blocked? Congratulations, collective. You effectively blocked somebody. Yes. Sometimes that's a very good thing. Oh, I'm sure he's so happy elsewhere, right? Thank you. Thank the Lord. Prayers answered, right? The way I have treated you was wrong. Somebody could be, I feel like it's this weird summer weather we're having where it's like, kind of these past memories, like these, before the cold sets in, or like stirring up, and somebody might be reflecting on how they may have missed their chance to treat you properly. Okay. I was on Tinder this morning, checking my Tinder matches, and they're like, well, what if I did this? And what if I did this? And I was like, isn't mutual attraction part of it? Like they were talking about the physical stuff. And it's like, well, isn't that kind of part of it? I was like, hopefully we can eat first. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a machine, y'all. Okay? And neither are the other women out there or these men, right? Like, whoever you think you can just put it, like the token in the slot machine, and no, it doesn't work that way. Don't treat me the way you do. I don't deserve it. Yeah, you could have been getting treated very transactionally, like, I need my nails done. Where's my $40? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, like, I know I gave you some money last week to spend on yourself, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it every time. You know what I mean? Especially if you're just kind of like casually dating or something. Or, maybe you're somebody that likes to cook. And then, somebody starts coming over and is like, well, where's my home cooked meal? Where's my home cooked meal? And it's like, okay, I worked all day too. Did you even go to the grocery store for me and get any of this stuff? Or are you just like expecting, you know what I mean? Like, what is the expectation here, and how has it gone wrong? Okay. You may or may not want to explain that to these people, right? You could be like, look, you didn't get it the first time. That's okay. Maybe there's somebody else out there who can teach you, because I don't want to teach you no more, right? You're like, whatever. Yes, I'm drinking soda after my walk. It's not the most, whatever, but it has caffeine and sugar in it, and that's kind of how I get my caffeine these days, so. I don't have to be to work at 6 a.m. anymore, Those days, and when I had an hour commute on top of it, yeah, I was caffeining, okay? If I could go back in time, I would handle us differently. Yeah. Memories like the corners of my mind. Right? Come on, Barbara. Misty colored water, memories of the way we were. Okay? Sometimes if you've ever seen that movie, and even if you just think about it now, it's like, oh my God, yeah, when I was younger, I was kind of a hothead, or I could probably have been a little more accommodating to this person or that person. That movie was very strong in two people who felt clearly about their paths, and they thought that they could intertwine their paths, but then they realized that they couldn't. Okay. Sometimes we say, well, if I had gone back to go to, this college instead of that college, then we would have been together and blah, blah. You don't know that, right? Sometimes these are thoughts that, look, yes, it's okay to have these thoughts, but don't get so hung up thinking that you have a time machine, because you don't. I know a lot of us on here, we say time is an illusion. And part of the reason why we say that is because going back in time, the only way you can really do that is when you start at the present and start changing your future. Okay. So, If you were to meet somebody like that person, not that exact person, but maybe like that person, um, what might you do differently? Start asking yourself those questions. Sometimes we reminisce and just be like, oh, well, I messed it up. It just didn't work out, blah, blah. But then we never take into the next relationship like something we could have done better or differently. Like, maybe your partner's somebody that likes to hear from you every day. And now with, text messaging and stuff, it's very easy to do that. Um, Whereas, maybe back then you had to like send a postcard, send, a love letter or something like that. There are ways, right? Sometimes those movies, and they're like, oh, I wish I would have treated so and so better, everything that they did for us and the family. They're installing a the solar panels at one of the houses next door. These feelings are eating me alive. Yeah. This person is very much caught up in like thinking that something could have changed. Maybe this person had feelings towards you, but maybe they were married. Like, so what was going to happen then? Like, they were still married. You know what I mean? Like, there might be a lot of things where I feel like collective, you are moving forward, okay? And this could be like a precursor to the Mercury retrograde where you might get kind of like some feelers from people that are kind of like wanting to clear their conscience a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to change anything in the future because, like they say, past behaviors predict future results, right? Um, if this person is still like into an addiction, if this person is still married, if this person is still whatever they're doing from before, those feelings may not really be something that's for you to interpret. It might be for them to like go to like, you know, somebody else to talk to because I feel like collective for most of you, you've already dealt with these feelings and they're not eating you alive anymore. Okay. I don't understand. Yeah. This person's feeling a lot of confusion. They're feeling memories. They're seeing things. And this is sad, guys. Really, it is because it's like they're holding moments close to them that they didn't think they were going to have. And it's like, for some reason, yeah, for some reason, it was fleeting enough to let it pass. Okay. And that's what they're not understanding is like, why was that so fleeting for them? Okay. But, if they haven't changed how they've treated you or others, this is the thing too. It's like, a lot of people get trapped. Let's do the romance angels first. Next, while I'm talking, a lot of people think like, oh, well, when there was so and so, they're gonna have such a better life. Well, are you really having that better life? I mean, just because they promised it to somebody else doesn't mean they're actually going to follow through with the next person, you know? And sometimes these selfish behaviors, they never resolve themselves that way, okay? And I don't want to say that person's a narcissist or anything, but they could be exhibiting narcissistic behaviors, okay? That, where they treated you or maybe others around you wrongly. Okay. And that's part of what I think they might be coming into understanding. It's like, it's not so much who they're with, it's them, right? Some guys are on wife number 4 and they're hoping it's going to work this time, right? I mean, we all grow up a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, oh, that's just the man's fault or oh, it's just the woman's fault or, you know what I mean? Sometimes people get married really young and it's very difficult for them to transition into their own, version of adulthood, together. Um, but some people don't want to ever get out of those patterns, behaviors, because they've not gotten caught, because they haven't felt the consequences. Now I feel like somebody is feeling some consequences for the way their relationships have been. Okay. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Yeah. So this Mercury retrograde, it's like, I don't feel like you, yeah, you could have been like, oh, yeah, I know you treated me wrongly. I know you treated me like a cash machine, or I know you treated me as, just using me for sex, or I know you know what I mean? Like, you're like, yeah, I know. I feel like collective, you've already kind of moved into this, like, why did they do this? Is just what some people do, isn't it? Right? And there's not, there's thousands and thousands of people out there in tarot land watching tarot videos that the same thing happened to. Okay. So the time has come to clear your energy. Like today, it's a nice day. Take advantage of those moments when you can enjoy nature, and not maybe like be so stricken by the elements. Okay. Somebody, I think they meant to say what's going on, but it says what's going on. So maybe you're into meditation. XOXO. That's one way to love yourself, right? Giving you hugs and kisses by meditating. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Yeah. This whole kind of like, a lot of people say, well, when I have kids, I'm going to be different. And when I'm married, I'm not going to. And then sometimes what happens? We get right into those things that we swore we were never going to do. Why is that? Is it because we haven't healed enough of our family issues? If not, I feel like the time is now that you're saying that you have guidance, you have ancestral help. Maybe there's like survivor guilt, even like, like, hey, my sister didn't have the best upbringing and I kind of did. And, I don't know, I feel kind of weird about that. You know what I mean? Look, did your parents know that that was going to be the outcome of, this childhood and, your sister's childhood versus, you know what I mean? Probably not. Okay. So, whatever side of the coin you ended up on, it's time to work on that forgiveness, not only, for your family, but yourself. Okay. And maybe even how you've reacted to that over time. Okay. When we start to see our family as people and not, as the people who, were at one time responsible for us, now it's more like you should look to them for, a general support or maybe guidance, not, taking accountability and responsibility. That needs to shift, right, to you collective, right? So that's why you've been releasing. That's why you've been healing. That's why, all this stuff has come up here. But like these feelings eating this person alive, they might be sitting here like, oh my God, why can't I stop thinking about so and so? Whereas you might be like, yeah, I might think about so and so, but I'm also like out walking my dog. And maybe I'm thinking about what was happening on Tinder earlier today. And maybe I'm thinking about Halloween this week. And maybe I'm thinking about, okay, like you're not so consumed here. Okay. So I feel like even somebody could come to you kind of in an emotional kind of mess. You know what I mean? And you're just kind of looking at them like, man, you're kind of a hot mess right now. You know what I mean? It's like it's out of character type thing. And obviously only certain people are going to know if it's out of character. Like, maybe your mailman that you see every day. knows if you're kind of acting out of character versus your supervisor at work that works offsite somewhere and you see them once every 3 months. You know what I mean? And sometimes they'll say some little smart alecky comment to you and you're like, yeah, I haven't really even had a conversation with this person in the last 2 months, so they really don't know what the F's going on in my life. Right? So, it could be kind of coming across as this and be like, you don't deserve that condensation. You deserve to be treated better. Okay. But you might be in a position. And I feel like this person feels like they are kind of in that position as well right now. Like there's some way to get out of that moment. You ever hear that song? What is that song? The Stuck in a Moment and You Just Can't Get Out of It by U2, right? Stuck in a moment and I just can't get out of it. Something. It was off of You Have to Get Yourself Together. You get stuck in a moment and something, right? But the more you release, the more you heal, then you're making new memories, right? It's not just all, you can be forward looking, not just past, and thinking that, sometimes people think that their best times are behind them. That could be what this person's thinking right now, especially if they don't see you in their future. But collective, based upon what was happening here, you saw a future where you could be treated better, including by yourself, right? So, the future is now, right? Somebody, Argowal says, whatever that is, and I don't know what that word means, bro, so. Playfulness. Well, this is nice. Yeah. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Yeah. Be flirtatious. Allow yourself to be playful. You also know when to draw it back. Over the weekend, there was kind of an exuberant dancer next to me, and he kind of kept getting in front of my face, in between me and the stage where the band was playing. And I kind of had to say to him, I'm like, look, I came to see that show, not whatever you're trying to do right in front of me. And I was like, maybe you need to save that for somebody later, but I feel like I was playful enough about it to not, you know what I mean? Not to hurt there, because he wasn't otherwise bothering me. It was just I don't like people jumping up in front of my fucking face, and I don't know the dude. So I wasn't about to be like, hey, you get the F out of my, you know what I mean? But I was like, hey, it's we're having a good time here together. Let's continue that, without you, jumping in front of my face like you're goddamn Richard Simmons or something. Okay? Jay Shri Ram. I don't know. Are you saying somebody's name there, Argowal? One of my doctors here in town that I've seen before, her last name is Argowal. She's a pretty good doctor, I have to say. When I used to have a lot of sinus trouble, I would go to her, but then I had that balloon sinuplasty, and then so yeah, at the ear, nose, and throat doctor. So I don't really have to get treated for that so much anymore, which thank God, because it used to be a real drag. You deserve love. You are lovable. Yeah. So whoever was, treating you the way that they were, and you're like, I deserve to be treated better. Yeah. Yeah, you do. And I feel like you're targeting it right now. Some of you could have long hair like this. You're like, look, and this could be a complicated situation as well that maybe you're not understanding, because you're like, look, I am on target, So maybe kind of what's happening here is the universe is confirming, stay in that playful energy. Maybe you need to go trick-or-treating this year, like, and not let, like if you don't have kids, like take your nieces or nephew, like give your brother, sister a break this year. They probably, could use a timeout from kid talk, you know what I mean? Or hand out candy, or maybe you're somebody that likes to dress up and help out like at the haunted houses on the weekends type thing. You know what I mean? Especially those little ones that like to crawl around, have those little, what is that? That military stuff on so they just look like a big lump. Spooky, huh? I don't know if you folks over there in India, well, you guys have Diwali coming up, so that's kind of the big celebration coming up, really. Um, so that's right after Halloween, and here's Halloween and Mexico All Souls Day, okay, which is kind of more of a remembrance of the dead. Codependency addictions are affecting your romantic life. I mentioned these addictions earlier, so this person, like I said before, especially if they come towards you and it's like they're kind of like a hot mess, it may be because they're still stuck in a loop of addiction. That doesn't mean you don't have romantic feelings. That doesn't mean you're not like the famous actress. She's long gone now, but her name is Barbara Stanwyck, and she, you think Hollywood starlet, you know what I mean? Like Elizabeth Taylor, how many times was she married? Like 8, 9, 1,500 times, right? Not saying all her husbands were great, but you know what I mean? She ended up getting married to somebody, I can't remember who it was, and then when he passed on, she shut it down. She still continued to work and be in TV and movies and stuff, more TV than movies. A lot of times as you get older, a lot of actors do more TV roles, right? I think it's the filming schedule is a lot easier. Anyway, sorry guys, my hair was a mess from, it's windy, super windy, all the leaves are rustling and all that fall stuff. But yeah, she never got remarried. She never, I don't even know if she like took an affair partner. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Old Hollywood style. She just decided that that was that for her. I don't see this for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, my husband is dead. My wife is dead. I don't want to, you know what I mean? They just shut it down. They turn it off. This, nothing about them feels alive. Okay. And what I'm seeing here is that you guys still have that. You still have that zest for life. Okay. Whoever thought that you were just going to be like so sad and lonely and bent out of shape all the time, they thought wrong. That might be what they don't understand. That might have been something that they were codependent on, thinking that when one rises, one has to fall. I gotta get a little hair tie here. This is driving me crazy. Now, I'm not saying sometimes we don't fall, right? Some rise, some fall to get to terrapin, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna say that. Ooh, Cash Ola. I've been seeing a lot of Cash Apps lately. I do have a Cash App, you guys. I should put it in my description, but right now it's just my PayPal. So if it's something that you want to support the channel by donation, you are able to do that on my PayPal. It is the Ophelia's Band PayPal channel. Okay. I try not to have like separate, you know what I mean, accounts for everything. I do have a Venmo and stuff too, but that's just the main one. Okay. And I do have a music channel as well, but The main way, free, 100% free way to support me is to either subscribe to the channel, right? Or to like the video. So thank you if you have already done that today, okay? I could say reckless things. I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be this, right? Maybe they treated you something, said something to you that's just, again, like, and you're like, you know what? That's not my character. I don't even know where they're getting that from. This person is a butthead, you know? And And if that's who your ex is, then yes, time to clear that energy, right? If that's how your family was to you, like, oh, you're never gonna accomplish this, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff, boop. Yeah, they might be sorry now, but you've done moved on, right? It's like the president the other day, he made the apology to the native tribes about the boarding schools and stuff. And like, I'm sure for some people that's a good thing and probably like a good thing, you know what I mean, to recognize as a country and stuff. But at the same time, those people, getting that apology, some of those people are no longer even on this planet anymore. Right? So if you're waiting for somebody to do this, for you to thrive, that is, again, heal those family issues, release your ex, release your coworkers, release whoever it was that was supposed to be guiding you into your next thing, right? Because let me tell you, a lot of those people are really only there to see how you benefit them. Okay? I mean, there's been bosses that I've worked with that, they're like, oh no, you can't move on. It's like, actually, yeah, I can. I can quit tomorrow. I can quit today. I can quit yesterday, bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these people like start to think that they own you. Many people that are Christians, people of faith, realize that that is a big fat lie, right? Is they're like, no, my allegiance is not to you. My allegiance is to a higher power. And my saint's name, by the way, is Agnes. That was my confirmation name. And Agnes would not kneel before the Emperor of Rome and swear allegiance to the Emperor of Rome because she knew her calling was with God. Okay. That was so I got confirmed when I was in like junior high level. Okay. So fairly young. Yeah. Like you can say whatever you want about me. That don't make it true. Right? Isn't Mary Magdalene supposed to be a big goddamn whore? Right? Or is she actually just Jesus's wife? And there's a bunch of jealous bitches around there saying, oh, that Mary Magdalene getting all Jesus' time and all his buddies. Right? Have you ever been the target of something like that? It could be so innocent, so unsuspecting. It does not matter. Some people, that is what they thrive on. Okay. So you might be feeling some of that. Well, they like to go to those parties, and I heard that. So, you know what I mean? It's just then all of a sudden it puts you in some kind of association, right? Yeah. Like people that think that you're out at a bar, that means that you're going to go home with them or anybody. No. No. I just reposted this story. It was from France. There was a protest for an Indian female doctor that was assaulted, and I think she was actually killed. But in Calcutta, India, Kolkata, but and it happened like in the hospital. It's like, are we feeling equal yet? You know what I mean? Are we feeling protected under the eyes of the Lord yet together? to, lift each other up and help each other? How many people now are not going to be treated and saved because that doctor's life was not spared because of what? Because of a kind of greed that rules lower energies, okay, that should not be emulated, okay? Because those people, once they're caught, they're going to end up in jail for the rest of their lives. They're not going to have a life, okay? And sometimes people say sorry because they got caught. Let's face it, right? Oh, they're always sorry on the witness stand, aren't they? Oh, and then they're going to come up with it. What was that French actor, Gerard Depardieu? It said they delayed his trial because he's so old or something. Like, I care about his health, right? Or is that or is that just one of those delay tactics? One of my exes, after I didn't press charges, the state pressed charges because he broke the doors down into my house and, threatened physical harm to me again, which he had already beat me up once. So, anyway, one time he was supposed to appear in court and I was there. He wasn't, because he claimed he had COVID. Maybe he still has it. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself. That's the best way. The best way. Playfulness. Allowing yourself to be playful. What are you doing? I am doing a reading right now, Jennifer. Thank you for joining. Investing in love. Okay. Maybe you need to invest in some positive affirmations regarding love, saying, I deserve love, right? I deserve romance. I deserve happiness, right? Some people don't want you to have happiness. Misery loves company. And yeah. And some people are going to be like, I want to drag you down in all of my BS. And you're like, I don't feel like it. Thanks. Right? Isn't that song Like a Rock? Cut the crap and turn to Jesus Christ. Actually, Jennifer, I am a follower of Christ, and I can see that you are clearly not. So I'm going to have to block you from the channel now, okay? And I don't really care what happens to you after that. So find a different channel, right, people? Hello. No te preocupes, don't worry. You know that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? Don't worry. Dun, 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 be happy. Okay? Even Jesus had happy days. Okay? It wasn't getting thrown on the cross every day. I'm just saying. Okay? Maybe part of this playfulness is going to be Halloween for you folks this week. And there's something very rewarding about making others smile, giving a little lift to somebody versus Jennifer N that wanted to come on here and say that we're all going to hell. You know what I mean? Like, go start your own channel there, Jennifer N, about going to hell and see how many people tune into your Cut the Crap. Maybe you can call it Cut the Crap by Jennifer N. See, look at how all this mentoring she's getting for me for free. Did she even like my video before I deleted her off of there? Spying. This person could be spying on you because you know how to be playful. You know you deserve love. You're not worrying about whatever it is that they did, right? And their karma, right? No, sir. No, actually, I'm not worried how you're gonna make your next car payment because I didn't sign the note for it. You know what I mean? It's like, you might want to think about it before you put your name on the dotted line about how you're going to pay for something. Especially those folks out there that don't want to work. And I know it's a little different these days finding a job, but you know what? There are still folks working down at the corner store. Just saying. I want you to meet my friends. So whoever this is that's spying on you could want you to get together with them and their friends. Maybe show you a good time type thing. Be like, look at me, I'm cool. I can be cool and fun, like that kind of stuff, right? Oh my God, Jennifer N is cracking me. What is this? Well, this is a tarot reading. I am actually going to get into the tarot cards, right? So let's see. You know what? I should definitely use my spirit. I'll stick to the spirit Halloween ones, you guys, just because 'tis the season. So what else do we need to know? Do you guys have a favorite kind of Halloween candy? I bought some Reese's peanut butter cups. I'm also giving away free I'm free. Well, everything's like free on Halloween. That's kind of the point. But I'm giving away full-size cans of soda this year. So hopefully the parents don't hate me too much. Some of these parents now, they bring the wagons around, you know what I mean? They can handle it. These parents, I've seen them throw 3-4 cans of beer on their walks, taking these kids around so they can handle a can of soda on the way back. Ace of Pentacles. Somebody is going after that bag. It might be the candy bag, okay? Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Ace of Pentacles. Again, whoever this person is that's having all these reminiscent feelings for you, the Ace of Pentacles represents like engagement rings to some readers and stuff. And this person could have like this notion in their head that like, well, if I had proposed, then blah, blah, you know what I mean? It's like let's start at the basics. Like, can you walk around the neighborhood and pick up candy? Can you do that? Can you even hand out the candy? Are you capable? Can you buy the candy? You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to have this whole bouquet here, but let's start at 1, 2. Do you know what I mean? It's not a bouquet until you start picking the individual flowers. And sometimes, yeah, those individual flowers might not look so great by themselves, but all together, stunning, fabulous. Can't get enough of it, right? Okay. Yeah, I got this little thing here. They had to remove, oh God, my skin. Oh, and then I got this mark here, but all together, stunning, great, fabulous. Okay. You might have to work into that, right? Somebody says, happy Diwali. Yes, happy Diwali days to you. I think, the official started Diwali on November 1st? When I worked with a lot of Indians overseas, a lot of them would take off. So I imagine like this coming weekend, folks might be taking off to do some of their celebrations. Because especially in India, a lot of folks work on Saturdays there. The High Priestess, fortune teller. You could be getting readings. You could be very in tune. You could have been thinking of, investing in something specific. A guy I was talking to on Tinder this morning, he said he was asking what I do, and I say I like to invest in things. And he says, I like to invest in things too. He said, I just got a car for parts. Tell me my future. Well, this is the fortune teller right here, right? The high priestess. Um, Again, you could be looking to get a reading. You could have gone to somebody to get a reading. Um, oh yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, he said he was he got a car for parts, like so that he can, work. So like that was his investment, you know what I mean? And then whatever he's working on, he'll probably sell that or something. Um, so, um, I'm gonna call you Candy here from India. Tell me your future. If you're investing wisely, right? How do you think that future should appear to you, right? Sometimes we need to get our third eye space working, okay? Sometimes it's not what somebody else is going to tell us, but what we may already know, such as, yeah, if I could go back in time, I would handle this different. Like maybe this person spent a lot of money on stuff that wasn't for the home. Like maybe they spent money on like excess cars, or excess gambling, you know what I mean, that didn't necessarily contribute to the abundance, the future abundance of the home, right? So, now that you may have seen that, maybe that's a family thing as well. Maybe you've seen somebody go through a bankruptcy and you're like, dude, I don't want to do that, right? So, when you're thinking about your fortune, okay, are you necessarily putting it in the hands of somebody else, or you already have this kind of thought, right? So when you're coming to a reading like me today, being your reader here, say I'm your fortune teller today, okay? I'm here to confirm, okay? And you getting this Ace of Pentacles here along with this investing, I feel like there's going to be some really good financial type abundance, okay? As well as, kind of like spiritual time abundance. You're not going to be worrying about things that should have been taken care of a long time ago, right? You're not worried about lessons that should have been learned back in the first grade, right? Yeah. Just like those doctors at that hospital, they shouldn't be worried about, the safety basics. They need to be worried about saving lives, right? Yeah. I mean, my pediatrician growing up, he was Indian, and he was a very, very good doctor. I saw him like almost until I went to college, right? And then I had, not see the pediatrician anymore. But he was a wonderful, wonderful doctor. Justice, Valkyrie. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, this justice is going to be swift. You could have like a windfall of some sort. Maybe during, the days of Diwali, you're gonna like realize just how fortunate you are and being like, you know what? Like, I don't have this problem. I don't have that problem. Maybe this is justice served in my life. This is scales being balanced. Justice is also Libra energy, which we just kind of left out of. Now we're in Scorpio season, right? Like you may have been able to fly on your own, right? To achieve some of these things, to put you in the space that says, yes, I'm ready for the right kind of relationship. And maybe it's because you built this swing, you built a seat for two, right? The guy that shows up on a unicycle, you're like, well, I mean, that's great and everything, but where am I supposed to sit? you know? Somebody I know, their boyfriend got like a nice motorcycle seat that they could both sit on. You know what I mean? I've been on these motorcycle rides before, and let me tell you, when you're sitting on something that's only this big, it's for 200 miles, it's very uncomfortable. That's not somebody that cares about their passenger when you're sitting on something like this. But the guy that goes and, yeah, hey, Hey, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to ride along. You're my ride or die right now. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying. That's what they're showing. It's not just that they want you on their arm, it's that they want you on their arm and to show people what they do with somebody that's on their arm. Right? So for many of you that are saying, yeah, that is what I deserve. Yes. Right? A lot of times it's like we're giving in order to show people how to treat us instead of saying, well, maybe you can just tell them next time. And then, you get some of these people, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, you know what? Then why are you even talking to me? If you don't think I bring anything to the table, go talk to whoever's next door, right? Two of Swords. Especially for those of you that are dating, that are kind of, like I said, out there exploring your romantic feelings. You're like, no, I'm not dead. And just because you treated me that way doesn't mean that I am. Hello. Right? As I live and breathe. Hello. Right? Yeah, kind of a drag when these little ghosts pop up and be like, well, 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 you didn't want to do this when I was around. You didn't want to do, well, what were you doing anyway? You were just trying to scare people, right? Someone says you are alone in your soul. I think it can feel that way sometimes. And I think people can make you want to feel that way. But when you really turn to what's actually guiding you, okay, you're going to see that it's not so scary as all this. This just turns into one of those Scooby Doo episodes. Mr. So and so. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have anything better to do than just be scaring these kids again. Why don't you fix one of them windows for a change instead of haunting the place? Why are you even hanging out here? Just trying to get insurance money? I mean, what's you know what I mean? Right? You may appear cute and cuddly, collective, but you're not stupid, right? Can you tell me, will I meet my person? It's a good question, Josie. Some of us, we may have already met that person, right? But if you are feeling like for some reason your soul hasn't been recognized yet, you're feeling for some reason being alone, remember that you recognize your soul, right? And the more that you do that, you're going to start to see people. And what I mean by that is you're going to catch a glimpse of them recognizing you. I'm not going to say it's going to be that's your person. I'm not going to say that's going to be a lifelong friend. But you know what? They might be a friend to you for the next 5 minutes. And that might be a hell of a lot better than anything you experience for the rest of the day. Some days are like that, right? Oh dear. Let's see. I gotta get rid of this guy. Okay. I don't know who thought they were gonna speak about my satisfaction, because I'm very satisfied here doing this reading for you guys right now. So again, Jesse, if you are looking for your person and maybe you just haven't found them yet, you might be like, well, what's the problem, right? Remember that you deserve love, okay? sometimes the people that we're around don't recognize that we deserve our own, something of our own, right? Let's see. The Hierophant. Wow, you guys. You got the High Priestess and the Hierophant here. Yeah, I feel like you are very steady at this time. So Josie is saying, is it someone at work? I mean, the fact that you're employed, right? You have goals, right? Maybe you have an apartment, maybe you have a house, right? Those are kind of Hierophant level things. Okay. Things that have worked for people for centuries, right? Well, my ancestors were farmers. Okay, they still had a job, right? And they put their, pulled their resources into their home, into their land, into their animals, and, and stuff like that, right? You may be looking for somebody, that kind of has that structure, right? So this could be somebody who similarly maybe works at your workplace, or somebody that you might see out when you are socializing with folks from work, or maybe they're in a different office, but it could be something like that. Somebody that is career minded, goal setting, future focused. Okay. Wow. Ace of Cups. Yeah, this may feel like a whale of a tale to some of you. Because again, you could be like, where's my person? I'm waiting. Again, don't worry, it's going to happen. Okay. Recognizing yourself as your person, right? First and foremost, very important. Don't go ghost on yourself, right? Sitting there waiting for the phone to ring, that old story. Getting dressed up, but then, none of your friends can go out, and so you just decide to sit at home. Don't do that. Go out anyway. Right? Instead of sitting at the table, maybe you can sit at the bar. Somebody said Virgo, Ace of Pentacles came out, which that is Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And the Ace of Cups here is Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancerian energy. So that might be aspected in your chart. I really feel like this, that Mariah Carey vision of love songs coming through. You have had this vision of love, these romantic feelings, okay? And it's kind of like you're waiting for the landing spot, right? I'm not going to say that you should leave the Virgo alone, but you know what I mean? If they're not responsive, it's like, well, maybe there's somebody else who is responsive. Yeah. And you have all the opportunities in the world. Like, you don't want somebody to be juggling you, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? Like I mentioned, I was on Tinder. I've spoke to 2 different people this morning. You know what I mean? One of them was a very, flirtatious conversation. The other one was more of a getting to know you conversation. Page of Wands. Yeah, there could be a message coming in for you, collective. Somebody seeing your light, somebody wanting to be around you. But whether or not their intentions are the best for you, you're going to be the one who has to say that, right? It's like maybe, you know, is this Virgo here, or have they been treating you the way that you want to be treated? Is that a conversation that you need to have with them at some point in time, right? Uh, let's do a couple more cards and I'm gonna get out of here, guys. We're hitting on an hour. Aquarius is here as well. So we have Taurus, Aquarius, Libra, the earth signs and the water signs. So kind of a nice cross section, especially for a love reading. And really the only fire here is the Page of Wands. But it's kind of like, yeah, again, you know, this could be somebody from the past, you know, this pre-shadow Mercury retrograde thing where somebody's like just feeling kind of, you know, reminiscing on old times. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yeah. The more you get grounded, the more you stay rooted in your playfulness, in your deserving of being loved and giving love, in, you know, healing things. Okay. It's like all the stuff is going to start to bloom and blossom around you. Even if you are in a scorpionic season, of like feeling alone, you know, sometimes that path can be very difficult. And that's why we like to reach out to counselors, spiritualists such as myself. You know, for some people, they go to church on Sundays or they go to their temple on Saturday, you know, whatever the schedule is, right? So that they don't feel alone. Okay. That doesn't mean that those people can tell you specifically what to do. Like you have to use your own discernment, right? Like I cannot tell you specifically what to do. I can give you an idea of something to do, right? But, you know, you might want to sit and marinate on that for a moment before just acting upon it, right? You know, is it in the spirit of playfulness, or is it in the spirit of some kind of urgency, right? And some kind of need? Is that need a codependent need? Okay. You know, somebody that's like, oh, my family member or my bestie's having you know, issues with this. I have to be there for them. Did they ask for you to be there? Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's interference. Okay. Just like I'm not out here soliciting people for readings, I allow them to come to me on my channel. You know, you can do a donation if you wish. Supporting the channel is 100% free otherwise by subscribing to the channel or liking the video. Okay. You know, yeah. Some things we don't understand because we've been overcomplicating the situation, right? And like my Calc 3 professor once said, 1, 2, 3, it's so easy, you know, understand. And I was looking at him like, no, I don't understand. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. This is really interesting. This be held thing was coming through last night. So I feel like for somebody or many people in the collective, you are again feeling that love around you and creating that space. It's like you're holding space for the right one. You're not just saying, well, I need somebody here, or they were going to be here and they're going to be right back, right? It's just, you know, yeah, you have the bicycle built for two. You know, maybe the tires need a little bit of air, right, before you go riding on it, right? You know, there's a certain maintenance level that you need to keep yourself at. Some of that could be you just spending time by yourself. Maybe spending time with your kids, family, or not, right? Being like, hey, can you take them this year? Like, you know what I mean? Like, But, you know, like, not for a year, but, you know, and they used to do that too. And they used to ship, I mean, some of these old movies, like, these kids, like, lived at the boarding school, like, all year. Does not sound like a very pleasant childhood to me. But you're around all these other kids. Well, yeah. Some little kids are shits, you know. Not saying I would ever know anything about that. I was just a perfectly innocent child 100% of the time. Just ask my mother. Minta Can, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Yeah. Part of what gets you going may be, you know, allowing yourself to have that playfulness where, you know, yeah, you're handing out candy, or you are, you know, somebody that likes to share a goofy joke or something, or you know, whatever it is, right? Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Okay. So the person that was saying, you know, what's, you know, tell me my future, blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you see in your future now? You know, what is something that you've, you know, have you completed your education goals? Have you completed your family goals? Have, you know, what kind of personal health goals do you have? What about your financial goals? Okay. You, once you start speaking on that, you are the oracle. Okay. Because it's like, oh, they want a house. I guess we better start working for that. What are we putting our money towards? DoorDash? No, we need to put it towards this instead. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying I just got DoorDash the other day. I'm not saying anything. You know, I'm just saying. Once you start speaking on it, you're gonna start healing. You know, some people want to heal without talking about things. Some people need to heal because they don't remember everything too, and I understand that. So don't, you know, that's part of also with living in the present versus all this. You know, if I could go back in time, well, if you could go back in time to what point? Because the only understanding that maybe you really have of back in time is the understanding that you had. You know, unless you go back and interview all these people and you know, I mean, do you really know what they were thinking about or what was going on, or right? But when you say, I would like you know, a dinner with polite conversation, you're setting that intention for yourself already in your mind. Okay? Okay. Let's do one more and then I gotta go. Is it Jintu or Hintu? You may want to go back after I'm done with this reading and check out the beginning, because I do have some messages from the Lovers Oracle there. Okay. No, wait, postpone, pause, say no. So if somebody wants to come back in treating you just the same old way, you can be like, I'm gonna put a stop on that actually, because I'm back here, right? Somebody could want you to come work for them. Somebody could want you to start a new project with them. And you might see that it's kind of like, okay, well, if I do that, then I have to do, you know what I mean? And you're like, have you even thought about how you're going to get paid yet? Right. Right. And just because somebody thinks they have an idea of what you're doing doesn't mean that that's a green light for them to monopolize your time. They might see that, well, look, you have all this room here. Be like, yeah, it's because you built it. You created it. That doesn't mean that anybody can just walk in here. Okay. Only qualified personnel. Okay. You know, I might be talking to some folks on Tinder, but that doesn't mean that we're ever necessarily going to meet. Right? You know, a lot of times that happens on dating things too. So, you know, sometimes the people that we've already met don't want to meet, right? She doesn't like me. I'm not sure, Garner, but I gamer, but I am encouraging you to go to the beginning of the reading when I get out of here and see if any of this else resonates with you. If not, this might not be your reading today, guys. Okay. Also remember, this one came out here. I want you to meet my friend. So there is definitely some strong love and romantic feelings here with the right ones. I don't know who those are for you. Only you can make that decision, right? So anyway, until next time, please manifest wisely. Bye.